With hoops under federal probe, fans say business as usual, arenas were packed, fans were cheering and schools were competing. In most places, it was a typical Saturday of college basketball. There was little visible hangover from the latest developments in the federal investigation of corruption in college basketball. Coaches were taking the same tact they have been, some saying they've found no evidence of wrongdoing and appear to be waiting for the next shoe to drop. Several players still played despite being named in a Yahoo Sports report saying documents showed they had taken impermissible benefits. Fans, for the most part, were not surprised, with some saying the circumstances have been reality in college hoops for a long time. Others had fun with it. At SMU, where the Mustangs were taking on number 13 Wichita State, some students chanted FBI, FBI, and held balloons spelling out the name of the federal agency leading a corruption investigation that has led to 10 arrests of coaches and others alleged to have worked in the seamy underbelly of the sport. One of more than 24 names mentioned as receiving impermissible benefits in documents in the Yahoo Sports report Friday was former Wichita State guard Fred VanVleet, now with the NBA's Toronto Raptors. In sentiments echoed by many coaches, Wichita State coach Greg Marshall said he didn't know about the alleged payments but that his program overall has nothing to hide. Utah's student section mocked Southern California forward Chimsy Metu, who was mentioned in Yahoo's report but played and scored 14 points to lead the Trojans in a win. The Utah fans displayed signs like "Need money? Metu. Me too," and chanted, "Payroll. Payroll," whenever he had the ball or returned to the bench. "When I'm on the court, nothing else matters. I was just out there playing. I wasn't paying attention to anything anybody else was saying," Meta said. "I'm not going to lose any focus at all. I didn't do anything wrong. Nobody in my family did anything wrong. For me, there was never a doubt I'd play." One school where officials were not enjoying themselves Saturday was Arizona. Wildcats recruit Sharif O'Neal, son of former NBA star Shaquille O'Neal, Saturday withdrew his commitment after ESPN reported coach Sean Miller was heard on a wiretap discussing a $100,000 payment to freshman DeAnderton to get him to sign with the school. The Wildcats also announced that Miller would not coach Saturday night in number 14 Arizona's game at Oregon. The school said Ton would be eligible to play. In Omaha, where Creighton played number 3 Villanova, the Blue Jays were also linked to possible violations. The Yahoo report said Christian Dawkins, who worked for former agent Andy Miller, may have bought dinner for former Creighton center Justin Patton or his family. Patton signed with Miller's agency but fired him once Miller was implicated in the probe in September. Creighton coach Greg McDermott has said he didn't know if Dawkins had a meal with Patton, but knew Dawkins met with Patton because McDermott also attended the meeting. So they took him to dinner. "Big deal," said 54-year-old Creighton fan Jim Belgrade, who has been attending games since he was 6. Belgrade said there needs to be a crackdown if money is exchanging hands and that some fans are more concerned than others. "They will be if it's a big-time school involved," Belgrade said. "And there are people who say it's the rules, and the rules are the rules, so we have to cap it some way." But will fans at Missouri Valley schools be worried about it? Probably not. Several players singled out by the reports were expected to play on Saturday, including Kentucky's Kevin Knox against Missouri. Texas held out Eric Davis against Oklahoma while the Longhorns conduct their own investigation, while Alabama's Colin Sexton started against Arkansas. At Duke, where Wendell Carter Jr. was in the starting lineup after the school said there were no issues with his eligibility, the only obvious indication that anything was different was found on the dry erase board near the Cameron Crazies entrance, a Twitter hashtag, #FreeWendell. "Obviously I was disappointed that a former player was acknowledged in this report," Maryland coach Mark Turgeon said after the Terrapins were beaten 85-61 by number 17 Michigan. Former Maryland player Diamond Stone, who played one season for the Terrapins, was also mentioned as receiving an improper loan from an agent. "I have absolutely zero relationship with that agent or that agency. Wouldn't know him if he walked into the room today," Turgeon said. Michigan guard Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman said he is aware of the scandal, but that's about as far as it goes. We still have to go out there and play the game. People didn't pay us. I mean, there's here and there, Abdur-Rahman said. I don't really think about it. I can't speak for anyone else. Ken Tig, a Terrapin season ticket holder since 2002, said college basketball has an issue that needs to be addressed. I think the problem is widespread, Tig said. Diamond Stone is part of an attempt by agents to influence the game. Michigan coach John Beilein offered a simple solution. Educate your players, educate the parents the best that you can, Beilein said. When somebody's offering them something, they've got to say no to a Coca-Cola if an agent is talking to them, and they've also obviously got to say no to money. In Dallas, Jim Randolph, who attended SMU in the late 1960s and was a fan during the 1980s when the football program received the death penalty, said fans expect their teams to do whatever they can to win. The entire infrastructure of amateur athletics, especially basketball, is just as dirty as can be, Randolph said. So many people have looked the other way for so long. It's about time it surfaced. Dustin Foster of San Angelo, Texas, grew up in Missouri and is a lifelong Kansas fan. The 36-year-old oil field worker attended the 8th-ranked Jayhawks game at Texas Tech on Saturday and said he doesn't know what is going to happen next. I don't even think Mark Emmert knows at this point, Foster said. I don't think anybody knows. Flip a coin. Villanova coach Jay Wright said the scandal has cast a cloud on basketball that everyone in the sport has to work together to fix. It's certainly not a good day for us, Wright said. But I do think we have a lot of good people in college basketball, a lot of good things in college basketball that we're all going to try to work together to get it right again. When asked about a line item on an expense report by Dawkins cited by Yahoo that said Dawkins had a meal with Villanova coaches, Wright said, "My athletic director has advised me not to respond to it. He will. The athletic department is on top of it and will respond to it." App Sports writers Eric Olson in Omaha, Nebraska, Joe A.D. McCreary in Durham, North Carolina, and Skylar Dixon in Lubbock, Texas and Associated Press writer Jeff Miller in Dallas contributed to this report. For more app college basketball coverage, http://collegebasketball.app.org and http://twitter.com/app_top25.